It is a wonderful day in Bangalore today with a very light drizzle. Weather is perfect to go out on a ride. Well, today I'm going to read out some of the comments that you've been asking me. Even though I answer every comment that you ask me, still I have selected a few comments that I thought the queries could be helpful for some of you. So welcome to Desmo Swadesi. If this is your first time on the channel, consider subscribing. Desmo Swadesi is a channel all about e-biking and urban cycling. Stay tuned. So the first comment we have is, without electricity, can I go for a long ride like normal cycle? Well, definitely yes. But a few things to keep in mind, since the whole battery mechanism of an e-bike is going to be heavier than your normal bike. So normally e-bikes weigh more than your average MTB or an average hybrid bike. So you are going to face some sort of difficulty while climbing up an incline, but I don't think it is too much of a big deal. And also, if your e-bike comes with 7-speed or multi-speed gears, I don't think you would notice that much of a difference, or I don't think that would be so much of a hassle. Okay, so the next set of comments, there have been numerous comments about you guys asking me about the modification that I've done on the handlebar, this one. And even though I have made a video, I have just showed you what I have done and what are the parts I've used. But some of you want to know, where did I get the parts from? All of that. So there is this Facebook group called Cyclop, CYCLOP. People constantly keep listing out things for sale, and you can also you post a request, whatever thing you need, and if someone has that thing, they will message back to you. So it's a very active cycling community. So that is where I sourced most of, in fact all of the parts that were needed for this modification were sourced from that very group. It's called a Cyclop, CYCLOP. So to briefly explain to you, the parts that I've changed are these drop handlebars, shifters and brakes integrated, Brifters by Microshift. Apart from that, I added this small extension just to put that controller in its place. So that I ordered from Amazon. So the next comment we have is, bro, can you advise the use of gears on the e-bike? I feel like I'm getting 24 kilometers per hour on full charge. It's a speedometer issue. Suggest the speedometer that you're using. So let me summarize both of these topics into one. Gear systems on an e-bike or a regular bicycle work very similar to how gear system works on a car or say a motorcycle. So when you're in slower speed, you start with a lower gear and work your way up to the higher gears as the speed builds up. The presence of gears help us to maintain a constant cadence even if the speeds build up. It is not like if the bike is going fast, you're going to start pedaling faster. If a bike is going slow, you're going to pedal slow. It is not like that. With the right usage of gears, you can maintain a constant cadence and be more efficient. When your pedaling is more efficient, obviously, and eventually the battery also kind of works efficiently. So the battery doesn't have to take all of the load because you're helping the motor. And coming to the speedometer, I use something called as BC500 by Decathlon. It is not the best one around. It was cheap, so I bought it. It is not very accurate, mainly because it keeps disconnecting from its sensor every now and then, but it does its job. I mean, it shows me the speed, average speed, and I've checked it, even cross-checked it with Strava and Google Maps. The error is not too much, so I think you can go for it. It is called BC500 by Decathlon. Okay, so the next comment we have is, hello, has the suspension been useful to you? So, in the e-bike world, suspension or presence of suspension is marketed as a must-have feature, or they make you look like you're missing out on a lot of things if you don't have suspension. So, suspension on bicycles do not work the same way like it does on a motorcycle or something. So, most of the suspension that we have on a bicycle comes from the tires. So, bigger tires mean that you can run lower pressures, and lower pressure means that it will have more elasticity or more compliance to soak up all these bumps and undulations on the road. And to add to that, your fork and the frame, which is mostly made out of some metal alloy, also have some sort of compliance to take those additional vibrations. And not to mention, your handlebar and the seat post are designed in such a way that they pretty much soak up anything that comes to your body. So on our urban day-to-day circumstances on our Indian roads or moderately paved roads, suspension, I think if you have anything more than 38C tires, or I think most of the e-bikes come on MTB tires, I think you can almost do away without the need for a suspension. But if you're someone who likes going off-road, when I say off-road, I do not mean very technical trails where you can manhandle the bike. These are e-bikes that are present here definitely cannot take any of those. Yeah, I mean, like if you want to go on unpaved surfaces, gravel roads, yes, suspension definitely helps you maintain that traction, and also you can glide smoothly through all those undulated surfaces. So if you were to choose between an e-bike, and if you are not buying an e-bike just because it doesn't have suspension, I think you should take a step back. Suspension, I think for me at least, is not a deal breaker. Now the last comment for today, more Fixie content. As much as you want to see more Fixie content, more than that, I love to ride my Fixie. The majority here is I want to see e-bikes more than Fixies. And having said that, I am working on some of Fixie content, and in fact, of late, I've been using the Fixie so much to ride to work, and I cannot wait to post more videos about them. So stay tuned. I hope I've answered all of your questions. That's it for today. If you have anything to ask, leave it in the comment section. I'll probably make another video, or I'll answer your comments. So I will see you in the next one.